Welcome to Koffee Talks with Dan Norton and David Person.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Koffee Talks with Dan and Law, and this time Danny, because we're talking about Build-A-Bear today. Law,
Yay.
You love Build-A-Bear.
I love Build-A-Bear.
Talk a little bit, introduce the Build-A-Bear topic, I guess.
So, back in 2015, Build-A-Bear released a Pikachu Build-A-Bear that came with a promo card.
Yep.
And some special outfits. And kind of blew up the Pokemon Build-A-Bear scene.
Yeah, so 2015 was that before Pokemon Go came out? Because Pokemon Go was summer of 2016, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pokemon wasn't a huge deal at that point.
Right.
It hadn't, even had that first blow-up resurgence that we saw when Pokemon Go came out in 2016, so it was December 2015, so we're about 6 months before Pokemon Go came out. I can't remember if it was announced that early on, but Pokemon certainly wasn't at the hype level that it was.
I think even then, though, the cards were still pretty sought after. I remember having a hard time getting to Build-A-Bear and finding one that had the Pikachu, that had the cards.
Sure, you mean the actual Build-A-Bear promo card was pretty sought after?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So we're talking mid-XY era, so the actual TCG as a whole wasn't crazy sought after, but I guess interesting promotions like this were, and I think each store initially only got a very small number, but the store kept restocking the promo cards for a little while with Pikachu.
Yeah, and they were available online pretty readily for a little while.
Yeah, so when we're talking about the cards, so each card that comes with these different plush, it's a variant from a set, or I think in one case a Black Star promo, a non-foil just with the Build-A-Bear Workshop logo in the corner of the card. So then they kept continuing with these. Mm-hmm. So Pikachu was the first one. So Pikachu was December 2015, I've got my list here. And then it was September 2016 before we get the next one.
And that was the best one, Eevee.
That was Eevee.
Eevee initially came out, I don't know if you knew this, with kind of purple eyes.
Okay.
And then when it re-released, they changed it so it was a full black eye with just the white.
Oh, so do we have two Eevees that have purple eyes and some Eevees that have black eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Eevee is the plush we have the most of because Law got the idea to dress our two Eevees in Paw Patrol outfits. So it meant that every time they released a new Paw Patrol dog, Law had to get a new Eevee.
So we have 9, I think.
Yeah, that's a lot of Build-A-Bear Eevees. I mean, I will say for most of these plush, we were getting 2 of each because we each wanted the card. We'll talk a bit about where that changes in a moment. And then after they stopped doing the cards, we did eventually drop to 1 of each. But after Eevee, we had Charmander.
Yep.
Then Squirtle.
Charmander's got a fun one because he initially came out with a Riolu outfit, or Lucario outfit.
Okay.
And then when he got released, I think it was in the UK, it may have been the UK re-release.
Oh, he had a different outfit.
He had a totally different outfit.
So
so that Lucario is pretty hard to find now.
So we maybe have 3 Charmanders. Because I think we got 2 when it first came out here to get the card.
I can't remember if we got another one or just the outfit.
Okay, I thought you'd got another one, but maybe you just got
we
the
may
outfit.
Have 3 Charmanders.
And then it was Squirtle. Mm-hmm. Any interesting facts about Squirtle?
No, I don't think there's any real interesting ones for a while now.
Okay, because then there was Meowth.
Yep.
Which is weird. Because it's a little bit of a gap between Squirtle and Bulbasaur. Because we've got Meowth, then Vulpix, then Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
Which seems like a while, but it's only about 4 months. June to November, so
yeah,
5 months. Because they were just releasing them a lot at a time in this one.
And I think they kind of knew that poor little Bulbasaur is not the most popular.
He's also huge.
He is huge.
And he comes with a pre-stuffed bulb, I think, right?
Yeah.
So he's really weird to see in the stores because the bulb is already stuffed and then it's just got the rest of the plush hanging off it ready for you to stuff. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's very strange to watch that one be stuffed too.
Yeah. And then it was Jigglypuff.
Yep.
And then a Alolan Vulpix.
Yeah, not sure why they went that route, but...
Well, Alolan Vulpix? Because it's super cute.
Yeah, I mean, but Vulpix and then a gap of 2 and then Alolan Vulpix.
Yeah. Then Piplup. Mm-hmm. Then Psyduck. Then Snubbull.
Snubble's a fun one, because it was kind of going along with the Detective Pikachu stuff.
Right. That makes sense.
And the Snubble that came out had cute little ear bows.
That's adorable. From there, we then have the Snorlax, which was a weird one because it released initially in a normal size. Then a couple of months later, they released a Jumbo Snorlax.
Yep.
Snorlax is the one Build-A-Bear card I still don't have. Law has one, but we didn't get one without Snorlax because the initial wave of Snorlax sold out unbelievably quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, unlike every other plush that came before it, future waves never had the card.
Yeah.
So, obviously the Jumbo came out, the Jumbo never had the card. But even when the Snorlax restocked, there was no more cards. Even though, like I said, every other one before it, there'd been at least 2 or 3 waves of the plush releases with the card. So the Snorlax is one we talked about recently about variants coming out a long time after set releases. Because this was from Flashfire, and this came out in 2019, so it was actually, I think, 5 years after Flashfire had been released. But looking at the list, I didn't even realise Bulbasaur
Was from Next Desk.
Bulbasaur was
Or from
Dark Explorers.
yeah.
So Bulbasaur was actually also 5 years after the set release. Bulbasaur might be longer of a gap than Snorlax in variants releasing.
Yeah.
Although, depending on how technical you get, I think that record has been shattered lately
Oh?
by the re-release of those God of War Blissey tins from, I think it's Team Up, like one of the Sun and Moon sets, where it was the Smooth Cosmos originally, and now we have pixelated Cosmos versions.
Sure.
And those
Okay.
came out like 2 years ago, but the set is from like 2017 or something. So that record might have been broken. Maybe I'll do a video on that, like
Yikes,
the
yeah.
longest time between a set releasing and a variant coming out. Right, then after that is Pichu.
Pichu's probably the weirdest one with the cards.
Yes, because this was 2019, but the last time Pichu had a card was the Heart Gold Soul Silver base set in 2011, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe late 2010. So Pichu came with another Pikachu card, different from the first one. And this one is the one that's a variant of a Black Star promo. It is SM86, Sun and Moon Black Star promo variant. This may have been the catalyst for them to stop the cards when they realised that they had to release a Pokemon that just didn't have a card option.
Yeah.
I know there was a big deal about when Pichu got a promo like 2 years ago maybe in Japan, because that was the first Pichu card since HCSS. We still haven't had an English one since HCSS.
No, hopefully we'll get one soon.
Yeah, there's a set that I think is already out in Japan which has an Ethan's Pichu in it. So hopefully that comes in potentially Destined Rivals. Or
Yeah, because
the
that
set
does
after
have
that.
some Ethan's cards.
Yeah, yeah. And then that's where the promo cards stopped. So all of the future Build-A-Bear releases don't have promo cards with them. So the next 3 were Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon.
Yep.
So these are the last ones where we have one each of.
Yep. We were at one point trying to collect the clothing and duplicates.
Yeah,
for
you were keeping one
this
nice
little
and
gentleman.
one for the bear to wear, but I think it's because we'd ordered 2 Flareon because we assumed there was going to be a card. I think we just ordered it immediately when it came out. And then when we realized there wasn't, I think we said, okay, well, we'll at least get the original 3 evolutions, one each. Because I would have wanted my own Vaporeon anyway,
Right.
to be honest. And then after that, that's when we dropped to just one of each plush. Because it was silly getting multiple plush if there weren't at least cards to go with them.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, value-wise, it would have been better just to order one plush for you and then me just buy the card each time. Because I think even the Snorlax that we missed, the card was still cheaper than any of the plush. I just need to go and
They're
buy
just
myself
so
one
cute,
at some point. Yeah, but I'm saying it was silly for me to first buy 2 plush.
I get
It should... Financially, we should have just ordered you a plush with a card, then ordered me a card. But when have we ever done anything financially? I can see you shaking your head in the camera. So after that, there was Dragonite, Mew, I've got the list. Scorbunny, Espeon, Umbreon, Gengar, Glaceon, Leafeon, Grookey, 2 special Pikachus, Teddiursa, Sylveon, Growlithe, Sobble, Sprigatito, Mimikyu, Mudkip, Charizard, Bidoof, Munchlax, Fuecoco, Cubone, Riolu, and then we just had Wooper.
Did Charizard have 2 versions, or was it only the
Only the huge one.
big one?
The ridiculously big Charizard. So there's a few starters that are like lone starters.
Yeah,
So
there's
Piplup-
some definite weird ones.
So Piplup was out with his own card. Like, so he's been out since, 2018?
Mm-hmm.
But
no Trico.
no Trico.
No,
Trico is Gen 3.
No, just kidding.
So it's Turtwig and Chimchar. There's no Turtwig or Chimchar, right?
No.
I just went through him. I didn't see him. So no Turtwig or Chimchar to go with Piplup. There's... Who else is there? So Scorbunny eventually got Grookey and Sobble.
And Sobble, yeah.
But it was a little while later.
Sprigatito did get Fuecoco.
So yeah, with Sprigatito for Fuecoco, but no Quaxley.
Yeah.
Maybe this year, because Fuecoco was July last year.
Yeah, I imagine
Sprigatito was July the year before, so maybe July this year we get Quaxley,
maybe,
hopefully.
yeah.
And there's no Trico or... Torchic to go with the Mudkip. Yeah, so maybe... I know, Trico seems like it would be a difficult one.
Yeah, so does Turtwig.
No, Turtwig is pretty cuddly. Turtwig is like... I'm thinking more about body shape, because Turtwig has at least got a big shell.
Yeah,
so he'd
that's...
be cuddly
I guess
there.
I was thinking the shell would be awkward to try and stuff.
No, it would just still be a big plush shell. Like, I'm more thinking of cuddly. Like, Trico is absolutely not. The fact that we've had no Gen 2 starters is also wild.
Yeah?
I need a Cyndaquil.
Chikorita would be so cute.
Yeah, Chikorita. People would love Chikorita. But we haven't had that.
They're really missing out with no Stuffle.
Yeah, no Stuffle.
Build-A-Bear, bring us Stuffle.
I imagine there's going to be Stuffle at one point. There's no Oshawott generation. Who was friends with Oshawott? Tepig and Snivy. Snivy will be another one that is odd, I guess, but Oshawott and Tepig.
It would be really funny if you just stuffed Snivy's head.
What if his body was just already there?
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous. But yeah, so no more cards are coming at all, which is fair enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they brought it back, but at the same time, like, it was hard enough in 2015 to try and get the cards.
Yeah.
And if they brought them back now, it would just be chaos in the Build-A-Bears, and I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, I mean, Build-A-Bear stuff as a whole is crazy in terms of, like, limited release items and stuff. Pokemon cards are crazy in terms of limited release items. It would be an absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Just an absolute riot in the Build-A-Bear store. Because, I mean, we've seen when the limited edition Sanrio stuff has come out, you've been trying to get, like, cinema rolls and stuff, and it's always been very, very difficult to get hold of that stuff. So, yeah, Pokemon coming with a card again, I think, would be too much hassle for poor Build-A-Bear employees.
Yeah.
Who have enough to deal with. So that's it. It's, 14 cards is where we're at. So, if you want to collect a small set of promo cards, Build-A-Bears are actually not a bad one.
Yeah, they're not super expensive, I don't think. Yeah.
So, it's not a bad set. I mean, I'm sure people will also want graded version stuff. I don't know or care about the market on those. Mm-hmm. So, that's what we talked about today. Danny, did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Yeah, Danny enjoyed talking about Build-A-Bear. We went in the bedroom, Laura was like, I'm going to pick out a Build-A-Bear and I thought we were going to grab a Pikachu or something, but no,
I mean,
our naughty little Build-A-Bear.
He's wearing his Pokemon shirt.
He's wearing one of his 10,000 Pokemon shirts.
This gentleman has more Pokemon shirts than the average 8-year-old.
Yeah, because they, as well as the clothing they release with every plush, they release a lot of just standalone
Valentine's,
shirts,
Halloween.
Christmas. All of the holidays have like a new Pokemon shirt every year, and this bear has all of them. Yeah, maybe a future video he can show off his clothing collection or something. Alright, well, that I think is it for today. That's another Coffee Talks in the bag. Really, really hoping David is feeling better.
Please come back, David. I miss you.
He said today he was feeling a bit better, so I can hopefully record tomorrow, which will be today as you're seeing this, and you'll see the video tomorrow. So, Danny would love to be on camera again. He's fine with this. So, hopefully you have been enjoying this. Hopefully you're enjoying seeing Law again on camera. And at least I will see you again tomorrow. Law might. We'll see how David feels. But, stay tuned to the channel. There'll be something here tomorrow. There'll be other cool videos coming soon. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Coffee Talks with Dan Norton and David Person, with music by More Than Never and artwork by Lore Norton. A special thanks to all our Patreon members. Join us again next time.
But they don't want you to.